Today we're going to continue the suspension upgrades on Project Betty with a set of adjustable coilovers, adjustable front control arms, and a set of brand new lowers. So this suspension we're going to be installing on Project Betty. Brandon, tell them about the control arms we're using here.
So the things that we're going to start with is the SPC control arms. They're tubular control arms. They also drop into the Shelby drop mod, so it gets you better alignment, better setup for your control arms when you lower your vehicle. Also, you can adjust your camber, your caster. Also, you get adjustable strut rods. Then we got also the lower control arms from CJ Classic, and then what about the shocks?
Yeah, we're going to go with the QA1 Pro Coilovers. Now these coilovers are going to be a billet aluminum body. They're going to be adjustable for both rebound and compression, and we have 400-pound springs on there, which will be a good spring for a V8 small block in this car. It'll give us good handling without being too much of a harsh ride. Nice thing with all this stuff, it's going to be direct replacements for the factory components. Both the SPC and QA1s are made right here in the USA.
We're going to start by removing our shock and a shock purchase. Just remove all these bolts. Once you have it unbolted, just twist it. And then you can remove all your purchase. When removing your shock, remove the shock bolts, not the purchase bolts. Remove your shock. We have this nice spring compressor to compress the spring for these big old springs on this car. Now if you don't have that, you can rent it from any auto parts store or use a jack and slowly depress it. So what we're gonna do is get this all hooked up and get that spring up. Now there's two different ways you can do it. You can remove your spring purchase or remove the whole control arm. Since we're replacing the control arm, we're gonna remove the whole assembly. I'm now just pulling my control arm out. Now you can release your spring. Remove your cotter pin and ball joint nut. Okay, so we grabbed our new control arm. As you can see, there's an R for right side, that'll be top. And if you have it on the left side, it'll be left. Since we're on the right side, slide your bolts in. Slide in the location, and then put your nuts on. SPC gives you these shims. This is a 1/2 degree, the thicker one, and a 1/4 degree for the thinner one. And now I'm not gonna put any in until we go for alignment, but keep these with you when you take it for alignment. SPC offers these nice steel ball joints. Also, they give you these nice slots to give you 1 degree or negative degree of camber. So, but we're gonna put ours right in neutral for right now for alignment. Reinstall your control arm back into the spindle. Then you can go ahead and tighten everything down. Tighten up your bolts at the back of the control arm. with a 3/4. Now to remove our lower control arm, we have to remove our strut rod, and then we can remove all the other parts. So usually you disconnect your sway bar from the control arm, but since we're replacing our sway bar with a bigger one, we're gonna remove the whole sway bar with the control arms. Remove your lower ball joint off the spindle. Remove your inner bolt on the control arm. With good forward design, to remove this bolt, you have to remove this brace. So let's get this brace out of the way so we can get that one bolt out. Now that this side's off, we're gonna jump onto the other side. Grab your new controller and slide it into the spindle. Put your nut on. Then slide your control arm back in the body. Once you have your control arm into place, tighten everything down, and then we'll jump onto the coilover. Grab your strut rod. Now the instructions give you a detailed way of how the washers, the bushings, the spacers all go together, so read that before installing. So the nice part about this adjustable rod is these two nuts. It lets you move the rod in and out to set the wheel right in the wheel well that you need to, also set your caster. So get these tightened down, and then we'll get to alignment. Before I can install our new QA1 coilover, I have to assemble it. I already put never sees on the threads. Put your lock ring on first with a little bit of a boss going up. Scroll that all the way down. Then install your spring seat. Then take a little bit more never sees, put it on this lip, and then put your ring on. Once that's in place, grab your spring and we'll start installing this.
Now sometimes you run into this when you're using parts from different manufacturers. The SPC control arms are designed to use the stock spring perches. The QA1 coilovers have their own mounts where the spring perch would go. In this case though, the QA1 is a little bit wider than the factory perch. Now on a factory arm which is flat, it's not an issue, but on the tubular arm, this is gonna sit down a little bit. So what you have to do is basically just grind the edges off of the bottom of the QA1 bracket to make it fit.
Now with your shock and spring all in place, now we're ready to put our bracket on. What you have to do is compress your suspension up a little bit to get the shock into place, bolt it down with the factory hardware, and then bolt your shock down. After you have the bracket bolted down, slide your shock bolt into place. Put your washer and nut on, and then tighten it down. With this side all assembled, we're gonna jump on the other side, get everything tightened down, put the wheels back on, and then we're done.
Now I know Brendan made it look easy, but the front suspension of your classic Mustang isn't that hard of a job to tackle. Betty is sitting right now with our lowered springs and coilovers. The car's got a nice flat stance to it. Once you get some weight in here with an engine,
Exactly.
It's gonna sit even better. So definitely keep it here for more updates on Project Betty.